Welcome to the ultimate treasure hunt as we dive deep into the secrets of the United States Washington quarter dollar. Today, we reveal the hidden features and rare anomalies that transform this everyday pocket change into a high-value collector's prize. Get ready to discover if you are holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. United States 1973 Washington quarter dollar coin represents a fascinating chapter in American numismatics, emerging during a period of massive industrial output and economic shifts. At first glance, this common circulating coin seems unremarkable, featuring the familiar silhouette of George Washington on the obverse and the regal bald eagle on the reverse. However, 1973 was a year of subtle transition at the United States Mint. While the silver era had officially ended nearly a decade prior, the minting process was still evolving, leading to a variety of minor and major anomalies that today drive collectors into a frenzy. Unlike the silver quarters of old, the 1973 issue was struck on a copper-nickel-clad composition, weighing approximately 5.67 grams. Finding one in your pocket is easy, but finding one that tells a hidden story of production error or extraordinary preservation is where the real hunt begins. The rarity of the 1973 quarter is not found in its mintage numbers. Hundreds of millions were produced across Philadelphia and Denver, but rather in the survival of high-grade specimens and the occurrence of freak minting accidents. During this era, the mint was focused on quantity over quality, meaning most quarters entered circulation immediately and suffered the wear and tear of daily commerce. Collectors today look for the S mint mark from San Francisco, typically found in proof sets, but even the standard D and P marks hold secrets. The visual appearance of a 1973 quarter should be sharp, with clear details in Washington's hair and the eagle's breast feathers. When these details are exceptionally crisp and the luster remains undisturbed by fingerprints or scratches, the coin transcends its face value and enters the realm of high-stakes investing. The tension builds when you start looking for the ghosts in the machine, the errors that shouldn't exist. There are whispered reports of 1973 quarters struck on the wrong planchet, including rare instances where a quarter was struck on a stray silver blank left over from previous years or intended for proof sets. These wrong metal errors are the holy grail of 1970s coinage. Beyond metal composition, collectors obsess over strike alignment and rim shape. A 1973 quarter with a significantly off-center strike, where the design is pushed to one edge leaving a crescent of blank metal, can turn a boring afternoon of coin sorting into a life-changing event. Every time you tilt the coin under light, you are looking for that one shimmer or structural oddity that separates a common slug from a museum-grade treasure. Let's climb the storytelling ladder of value, keeping in mind that these figures are illustrative of the market's peak potential and never a guarantee. For minor variations, such as common doubled die letters or slight rim clips that catch a collector's eye, you might see prices ranging from $2,500 to $7,500. While that might cover a nice vacation, the stakes quickly rise for more notable examples with clear, dramatic doubling or significant die cracks, which can command up to $9,000. When we reach the territory of high-grade coins, those pristine MS-68 specimens that look like they were struck 5 minutes ago, the price tag often hits $10,000. These are the coins that collectors fight over in silent auctions, representing the absolute pinnacle of what the 1973 minting run was capable of producing. The ladder continues upward into the realm of the truly extraordinary. If you happen to find an unusual mint anomaly, such as a 1973 quarter struck on a different denomination's planchet or featuring a major double strike, you could be looking at a windfall of $25,000. This is the kind of money that can serve as a substantial down payment on a home, transforming a piece of metal into a stable future. Rare collector pieces that have been vetted by professional services often sit around $12,000, while those that are exceptionally preserved or represent an uncommon combination of errors can easily reach $15,000. These are the hidden gems of the numismatic world, frequently found in old jars or forgotten collections where they have sat undisturbed for half a century. As we reach the top of the valuation ladder, the numbers become truly staggering. For unusual finds with intense collector demand, perhaps a coin with a pedigree or an error so unique it has its own nickname, the price can soar to $65,000. At the very peak, for extraordinary or historically significant examples like a 1973 quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet in a high grade, the value can reach up to $80,000. Imagine the emotional rush of realizing that the small, cold circle of metal in your palm is actually worth a luxury vehicle or a once-in-a-lifetime investment. It is the ultimate lottery ticket, hidden not behind a scratch-off coating, but behind the familiar face of the first president. To find these treasures, you must practice responsible and meticulous examination. Start by weighing your coin. A standard 1973 quarter should be 5.67 grams, but any significant deviation could hint at a rare silver planchet. Inspect the metal color. A silver error will lack the copper sandwich stripe on the edge. Look closely at the strike alignment. Is the design perfectly centered or does it lean? Examine the rim shape for any doubling or unusual thickness. Most importantly, use a jeweler's loupe to search for letter doubling in the words Liberty or In God We Trust. If you think you've found a winner, professional authentication is your only path to turning that dream into a reality, as third-party grading is the gold standard for verifying these high-value claims. The mystery of the 1973 Washington quarter proves that rare treasures can hide in the most everyday places, waiting for someone with a keen eye to pull them from the shadows of obscurity. Every time you receive change at a grocery store or dig through a bowl of loose coins on a dresser, you are potentially seconds away from a discovery that could redefine your financial life. But as we close this chapter on the 1973 anomalies, a new shadow looms over a different year in the Washington series. A coin with a flaw so subtle yet so valuable that it has remained undetected by the general public for decades. Stay tuned, because the next coin we reveal will challenge everything you think you know about the pocket change you carry every single day. The United States 1978 Washington quarter-dollar coin minted in Denver carries the distinct D mint mark, signifying its origin in the Mile High City during a year of peak industrial momentum for the U.S. Mint. While nearly 300 million were struck, the narrative of the 1978 D is far from common when you look beneath the surface of its copper-nickel-clad exterior. This specific year was characterized by high-speed production that occasionally pushed machinery to its breaking point, resulting in rare mechanical slip-ups that survived the inspection process. For a seeker of treasures, this quarter isn't just 25 cents. It is a metallic time capsule from a time when the transition to clad coinage was fully established, yet still prone to the beautiful chaos of minting errors that today's collectors obsessively track down. Visually, a standard 1978 D should exhibit the iconic John Flanagan design, with George Washington's bust rendered in high relief against a field that, in the best cases, retains a satin-like luster. However, the true rarity of the Denver issue lies in the survival of high-grade specimens that avoided the abrasive tumble of circulation. Most quarters from this era were bagged, shipped, and spent until their details were smoothed into oblivion. Finding a gem-conditioned specimen, one that has remained untouched and unmarred by the millions of hands that have passed through Denver's commerce, is an exercise in extreme patience. It is this hunt for the flawless in a world of ordinary that creates the initial spark of intrigue, turning a simple jar of change into a landscape of untapped potential. The atmosphere thickens when we move from condition to the realm of minting anomalies, where the Denver presses truly left their mark. One of the most sought-after errors for the 1978 D is the filled D mint mark, where a broken punch or grease buildup caused the interior of the letter to vanish into a solid blob of metal. But the real tension arises with more dramatic mistakes, such as the off-center strike, where the planchet was misaligned, leaving a striking crescent of blank metal that slices through Washington's profile. Even more legendary are the rare instances of a 1978 D quarter being struck on an entirely different denomination's planchet, such as a nickel blank. These wrong metal errors are the ghosts of the Denver Mint, appearing so infrequently that their discovery feels like catching lightning in a bottle. Transitioning into the storytelling ladder of value, we begin to see how these metallic mistakes can translate into significant financial shifts. For minor variations, such as common doubled die letters in Liberty, or slight rim clips that hint at a machine malfunction, you might see market outcomes ranging from $2,500 to $7,500. While these are respectable gains, the excitement builds as we move to more notable examples with dramatic, clear doubling on the obverse, which can command prices upwards of $9,000. When a 1978 D reaches the elusive high-grade status of MS-67 or better, essentially looking like it was pulled from a time machine, the value can hit $10,000. These figures are illustrative of what the most dedicated collectors are willing to pay for perfection and rarity, though they are never guaranteed in a fluctuating market. The ladder climbs higher as we encounter unusual mint anomalies that defy the laws of standard production. A 1978 D quarter featuring a major off-center strike or a multi-struck error can see a value of $25,000, a sum that could easily serve as a life-changing down payment on a home. Rare collector pieces that have been curated in private vaults for decades might be valued at $12,000, while exceptionally preserved or uncommon coins with unique tunning can reach $15,000. These aren't just coins, they are a sudden windfall, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that bridges the gap between pocket change and a serious financial asset. Each level of the ladder represents a new degree of scarcity, pulling the observer deeper into the high-stakes world of professional numismatics. At the pinnacle of this value hierarchy, we find the truly extraordinary finds that fuel collector legends. For unusual specimens with strong collector demand, perhaps a 1978 D with a massive lamination peel or unverified wrong stock error, the price can surge to $65,000. For the absolute most extraordinary or historically significant examples, such as a high-grade 1978 D struck on an experimental or stray silver planchet, the value could theoretically reach up to $80,000. Imagine the visceral emotion of realizing that a coin you found in a laundromat machine or an old coin purse could actually be worth the price of a luxury vehicle or a debt-clearing fortune. It is the ultimate scavenger hunt, where the map is hidden in plain sight on every quarter you spend. To join this hunt, you must adopt a disciplined and responsible approach to examination. Start by checking the weight of your 1978 D. A standard clad quarter is 5.67 grams, but any deviation could indicate a rare planchet error. Inspect the metal color on the edge. If the copper sandwich is missing, you might have something special. Look at the strike alignment and the rim shape for any signs of the die being out of place, and use a magnifying glass to search for subtle letter doubling in the date and inscriptions. Remember that professional authentication is the only way to verify these high-value claims. A coin is only a treasure once an expert confirms its pedigree, so treat your finds with the care they deserve until they can be graded by a reputable service. The 1978 Denver quarter reminds us that rare treasures are often camouflaged by the mundane, waiting for the one person who knows exactly what to look for. The vast majority of these coins will only ever be worth 25 cents, but the few that broke the rules of the Denver Mint are out there, circulating through the hands of the unaware. As you check your pockets tonight, remember that the D on that coin might stand for Denver, but it could also stand for a life-altering discovery. But even as we uncover the secrets of 1978, a new and even more baffling mystery is emerging from the following year. A coin with a signature flaw that has baffled experts and hidden its true value for over 40 years. Stay tuned, because the next coin we reveal is about to change the game entirely.